Liverpool smash it in Portugal, 3-1 to the Scousers. A excellent result, no doubt about it whatsoever. An excellent result for them, all but booking themselves into the semi-final. Manchester City with a tougher game. They were at home. Ati were resolute. They were hard to break down. A lot of City fans claiming they were quite dirty in the game as well. But KDB comes up trump in another big game, giving them that narrow margin going into the second leg. And what a week for the two title contenders. The quad still being on for Liverpool, the treble still on for Manchester City. An excellent night indeed for the two teams. And it's a better night for Liverpool, in my opinion. We'll get on to why very, very soon. We're going to be taking calls tonight. We've got Mo backstage. We've got Daps backstage. We've got Liverpool fans coming on as well. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings as well. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace right now. Get that done. Give it a hit. Yes, I'm looking at you. Yes, my man. Thank you for doing it. Someone says late. Well, we weren't late. Let's wait for the games to finish. But that's a weird one. They can't be late after games. The one that shows we're not late for is match reactions. But yeah, look, overall, excellent for Liverpool. And the reason I say that is they can go into the games, the game at the weekend, and play their full strength team against Man City with no worries. Because they can rest a few players in the second leg. There's no way Benfica scored 2 or more goals at Anfield at night in a Champions League game. For me, if that happens, my hair's almost grown back. I'll shave it all off again if that happens. Liverpool through. A bit more pressure on City that probably deserved another goal or two tonight. They're going to have to rotate. They're going to have to rotate for both games. But they're trying to win both games as well. So it gives Liverpool a little bit of an edge, I feel, going into Sunday's game. They can focus purely and simply on that. But as we already knew, the English teams at the moment are stronger than anybody else. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. And tonight really demonstrated that. Ati didn't really want to come out and attack. Ati didn't really want to do anything of any real note because they knew what would happen. They would get battered. Now, I want your take and I want your thoughts and your feelings on this. We're going to speak of man of the matches across both teams. We're going to be taking calls later on in the show. We've got a good amount of people backstage to do that as well. I'm joined in the studio by Colleen. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad those games got a bit more exciting as it went on. I was a little bit concerned come 30 minutes we could be looking at a game where it was 2-3-0 Liverpool and we'd have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, Benfica made it a good second half by getting that goal. Unfortunate mistake from Konate. But Liverpool were just too strong, too quick, too powerful.
Yeah, I mean, they gave it a good go, Benfica, to be fair. I think they gave it a better go than a lot of people thought, to be honest with you. I don't think any of us expected them to come out with that kind of energy and to, at one point in the first half, they were winning the second balls. They weren't letting Liverpool dominate that midfield in the beginning of the first half, but the cream rose to the top, really. That's basically the story of it.
They did, and I was really glad at the end as well. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it as a United fan. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be as neutral as possible as I can be on the terrace. Luis Diaz has been an excellent signing for Liverpool. Got that third goal. Most Liverpool fans will probably say the same thing, but for me, it was so important. It kills the tie. It helps them for Sunday because they can now play their strongest possible 11 for that game. They haven't got to make any early substitutions. They haven't got to think about the second leg now because they're through. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Benfica, but you're not going to Anfield and scoring 3 more goals. You're not beating them 2-0 either, but you're not scoring 3 more goals in Liverpool. At Anfield, not in the Champions League. It's not going to happen.
Well, if it happened, you're growing a man bun. Is what we agreed on the live.
We did say if Darwin Núñez scores a goal across his 2 legs and Benfica go through, I'm going to have to grow a man bun. Men should not have man buns when you're over 30. Once you're over 30, man buns are banned. They should be illegal. I'm just saying. Unless you're Aquaman. Who's the guy that plays Aquaman? If you're built and look like him, you can pull it off. Because that's kind of a manly look. I'm talking about the man bun, the weird little beard, the vape in your hand. None of that stuff, bro. Get out of East London. There's too many of them. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Too many. But yeah, look, they were great tonight. And City's game was so interesting because the longer it went on, you just thought, will Ati nick a goal on the break? But again, City just too much for him.
Yeah, I mean, the first half, I think both of us just took our eye off of that game. It was boring. I felt like City lacked a little bit of imagination. It kind of got into that same old bit of City that everyone says that, they'll have 89% possession, and it's just like nothing was really happening. They needed something else. And then in the second half, I think Atletico woke them up a little bit. 2 chances within the first 5 minutes of the second half. You know, they put some pressure on City, but then again, De Bruyne, he heard your curses of him. He heard you slagging him off.
I didn't slag him off. I just pointed out.
Come out and show you.
I just pointed out that he lost the ball 14 times in the first half. I wanted people's thoughts on it,
but got the winning goal.
He does clutch. Listen, KDB is clutch. Is why he's one of the best for all his technique and for all the techers and all the skills. It's about delivery, and he's delivered again in a big game. And City really responded as soon as they increased that tempo in the second half. It was over. Ati couldn't handle it. And you saw, like, most teams go a goal down in the Champions League and then try and equalize. Ati just decided that we're going to sit in. Because the one thing I'd say, Benfica tried at times to attack. And that's why Liverpool absolutely tore them a new one. And they really could have won by 4 or 5 goals tonight, Liverpool. It was harder for City because Ati are a better team and they sat in deep and they didn't move and they didn't do anything. But some really good performances across the ball tonight. I thought for City, KDB, as you mentioned, came up trumps. I thought Cancelo was excellent at right back, defensively brilliant. There's no doubt about it. And I was, again, you're always impressed with a lot of their attackers, but I thought Phil Foden did well when he came on.
Yeah, he changed the game, I think.
He was excellent.
He was a key part of the goal. I think the only not negative, but the only point as a City fan from a City perspective is that it's only 1-0. You don't want to go away to Spain just with 1-0. So I think that's the only thing that doesn't make that performance, especially in the second half, you know, it being a great performance. If it was 2-0, I think it would have been game over, really. Yeah,
and that's just the one thing. It isn't quite done. And, you know, City's pedigree in the Champions League isn't where Liverpool's is. Where I think Liverpool won't rest on their laurels, but they know.
Well, we almost had an Alisson mistake and a Canate, so I know Rams will be coming out to say something about that.
Yeah, it was almost an Alisson mistake, but it didn't quite happen. I mean, on Liverpool tonight, though, I thought Naby Keita had a very good game for them. Thought he played very, very well in that position. Diaz, as we've already mentioned, I thought was excellent, an assist and a goal. And listen, for all the dribbles and the skills and the technique, outputs are what matter, especially when you're trying to win a damn quad. But I thought it was another magical night for Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. The passing range, his ability on the ball out. It's interesting because Cancelo was playing right back tonight as well. And they were probably the best, for me, the best 2 players for both sides from a defensive standpoint and from the way they moved the ball around as well. But the one thing that really impressed me with Liverpool tonight is Benfica did try and attack. And sometimes they passed it through the midfield. But Liverpool's defense, listen, I know Canate made a mistake and people will banter him for it, but they were just a brick wall.
Excluding that, because I think if anyone was watching on the live stream, we were getting frustrated with Benfica. It's like, oh, if they could just make that pass, if they could just get that little bit of quality in the final third. But that's credit to Liverpool. That's credit to how they defend collectively as a unit and cutting off those lanes. So I think they gave it a good go. I don't want to sound patronizing because things could turn around at Anfield. Doubt it, but I enjoyed that game as a neutral, to be fair.
Yeah, like it was. Look, I'll patron. I'm not going to sound. I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but I'll say it. They've got 0 chance of coming back against Liverpool. I think I've said it 4 times already on the stream, and I stand by it. It's done. I've got some super chats here to do. We're going to go to the calls very soon. Dom Hassan's backstage. Ben's there. Rack's there. Tom's there. Ram's there. Mo's there. Daps is there as well. But man like Cal here says, "Hi Terry. Big win in the UEFA Champions League tonight. Will the call-in link be shared? If not, can I come on tomorrow as a neutral? Donny Rovers." I'll share the link. We'll share the link in a bit. Actually, J-Ron, can you share the link in the live comment section for us, mate? Thank you. Naby Keita, man of the match, is what Zotta Stevens says. Were you impressed with Naby tonight? When you stopped confusing him with Mane.
Hang on, you're not going to do me like this. You're not going to do me like this. But I'm sure you had a similar moment.
I had exactly the same moment.
Exactly.
Very small screen we're watching this on. Terry, do you ever have a day off? No. Why would I ever have a day off? Why would I? I'm very fortunate with this being now my job. I get to spend a lot of time with my children, like during the day, because neither go to school yet. So I don't need
your mind off United, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, I don't take days off. I didn't take days off when I worked at Barclays. I didn't take days off when I worked at Phones for You. Is that how I did it? Was that it? Phones for You. I never took days off then. It was commission-based job, right? So every day I sold phones, I earned more money and then I hit my accelerators. I'm retiring at 50. That's when I'll take a day off. So thank you.
So in how many? 2, 3,
4 years. 4 years. Yeah, I've got 14 years left and I retire. I don't know what that says.
Of course, but Bundesliga or Serie A, which one is better?
Oh, wow, that's hard.
I have a bit of. I always opt for Serie A just purely because of like childhood nostalgia, but I don't think that's necessarily correct right now.
I'm gonna say Bundesliga because I like sausages. That's gonna be it. In fairness, though, they're famous for their sausages in Germany. No, listen, they're both great. They are both brilliant. Jay Ling's fan. Very impressed with City's performance tonight, showing a strong mentality, and KDB clutch yet again. He's scoring on Sunday, by the way. City will win 2-1, and we will have a talk about that game later. We've got some big previews coming up. We've got Mott's coming into the studio. We've got Lawrence Boovy, that you all know from True Geordie, the kickoff, coming in onto the terrace tomorrow to record the 12th man. So keep your eyes out for that, people. Simeone belongs in a museum. You ticked that, didn't you, Javern? Javern hates him. Javern hates him with a passion. At Atletico Madrid, they will have to score suits Man City. Exactly. Because as soon as they open up, City will kill them, right?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I just think I would be more confident in City if they went there with a 2-goal advantage, personally. There's just something about Atletico. They just give me PTSD. They really do. They're not a team that I like to write off. You never know which Atletico you're going to get. And I think we were both surprised today at how well they did perform. I think we thought that they weren't going to be able to roll back the years of the kind of Atletico that can do that low block. And they did it really well. So I think it's still all to play for, but he's right. It does suit City because they're going to have to try and score at some point.
It does suit City. I would say the one thing, and I am throwing cats amongst pigeons here. When you compare Liverpool and City, I'm far more comfortable as a football fan that Liverpool are through right now. With City, they've had a few moments in the Champions League, which you get for me much few and far between when it comes to Liverpool. Would I be shocked if Ati still knocked them out? A little bit, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe City and Pep have choked in the Champions League as a couple and a collective. Where with Liverpool, honestly, I never gamble huge amounts of money, but I'd be very comfortable putting my mortgage on them going through. I would be more than comfortable doing that. But maybe I'll put a sizable flutter on that, I think, just because I'm saying it out loud. But we're going to go to some calls now, my people. Don Hussam's coming on first of all, and then we're going to go through. Everyone's going to have 4 or 5 minutes to have their say. But make sure you're smashing like buttons. That needs to be done right now. Get that done. I need you to just change the background. And then I'm going to play this in and then change the framings. I should be able to get this right. Right, let's get Dom on. Let's do it. I got it right. I done it. I had to change 3 things in like 4 seconds and I got it done. Mate, well done tonight. Congratulations. Give me your thoughts, brother.
First of all, I agree with everything you've said. I think we're through already. This is it's just football heritage. This is European royalty, Liverpool. This is just what we do in the Champions League. I'm not worried whatsoever. I think we're through already. Benfica gave it a good go, but they're just no match for us. I'm very disappointed to concede the goal in the way we conceded. I think it was very preventable. But as you said, I think we defended well all over the defense. Trent Alexander-Arnold, you get me, proving he is the best right back on earth. I'm not going to be engaging in any discussions with anyone regarding that anymore. That pass was just absolute filth. He doesn't even need a goal or an assist to be one of the best players on the football pitch. I think in that second half as well, had that fantastic pass that Jota messed up. But I think today's game, for me, was more about momentum, more about giving people minutes. And I have to do a special shout out to one guy as well, even though I've given him a lot of stick, and that's Naby Keita, because in my opinion, he was the man of the match today. Absolutely pulled the strings and actually outshone Thiago Alcantara on the football pitch as our best midfielder, in my opinion. So I thought Naby Keita was just absolutely phenomenal today. And listen, it's all positive. It's all positive now going into squeaky bum time against Manchester City, which I will not be able to sleep before. So that's what I'd say on today's game. And listen, it's all good. It's all good now. Semi-finals, here we come. So
I hear that. And in terms of it being such a comfortable win, do you feel a sense of a bit more, maybe a little more confidence going into Sunday because you might be able to, you can play your full strength team knowing you can rotate for the second leg?
Yes, I think with Klopp as well, he's gonna have like a selection headache as well going into to the Sunday game. I'll be real with you. I actually don't know what Klopp's gonna do, specifically in that midfield. The only thing I know that's gonna happen is Fabinho is gonna play in midfield, and I know Mo is probably gonna play. So it's just Fabinho and Mo. I know the other two midfielders and the other two forward line options could be Diaz and Firmino, could be Mane and Diaz, could be Mane and Firmino, could go to the typical one. We could be seeing Keita start. We could be saying Thiago start. Maybe Henderson is on the bench. So there's sort of a selection headache for Jurgen Klopp. And the one thing I will say as well, like to win these competitions, you do need luck. I'm not an idiot. I do realize luck is a part of football that you do need to work out in your favor. And I will say, going into this like very important part of the season with no real injuries, everyone available for selection is only a major positive. And next season, when we sign Saka and Martinelli as well, after Arsenal bottle top four,
get him off. Get him
you
off.
get me?
Get him off.
We're gonna have even more options, Terry. We're gonna have more options. You know, Saka to start away at the Etihad in the Liverpool. I'm just offering him an escape from that losing situation after the bottom top four.
One
that's
cheeky
all
win,
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
There, Dom, listen, my friend, thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. And we'll chat to you soon, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Confident man there, taking Saka away from you, eh?
Honestly, you can't afford him. Go away. I'm not engaging. I'm not engaging. I'm not having it. Sorry.
Next on the show, Daps is here, Man City fan. What are you saying, mate?
You know what? You, the comments, Hussam, all doing my nutting, bruv. I'll be honest. Sorry, but Terry, do you want Liverpool to win this league? Just answer me honestly.
Do I want Liverpool to win what?
Honestly, the league. Do you want them to win the league?
No. Me thinking they're going to win it and me wanting them to do it.
You think they're going to win it as well?
I think they're going to beat, if they beat you on the weekend, they'll finish 5 points in front of you.
When did the last beat us at the Etihad in the league, by the way?
That doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, but it is relevant. It is relevant because, you know, Liverpool fans are so confident. I won't even look at the comments because the comments are hilarious. Everyone's saying they don't care about City, little City, all that. Stop talking about us, please. We don't care. We will celebrate by ourselves at the Etihad. I was very happy with tonight's performance, if we move on to tonight. Little City that were in the third tier of English football, dominating Atletico Madrid. Yeah, I wanted 2 goals. I did. I wanted to go to Madrid 2 goals up, but I was happy with the performance. De Bruyne is starting to show that maybe he can be that leader that I wasn't sure about when he's been captain last season. He's starting to really get the bit between the teeth. Yeah, I'm very, very, very. You know what, Terry? Remember before the last Liverpool game in the studio with Sonny, and I was quietly confident then.
Was that the day of Redbird?
That was the day of Redbird, indeed. That was several Liverpool fans. I'm probably more confident today, to be honest with you.
I hear that. In terms of the second leg of this game, are you confident now going away, or do you feel as though this is still far from done?
You know what? Firstly, I'm looking forward to getting out of this country. But secondly, yes, I'm very, very confident. There's going to be a lot of City travelling. And you know what? I saw nothing. If we forget the result tonight, for me, I didn't really see anything from Atletico that impressed me, to be honest with you.
Mate, you're not wrong. I mean, listen, Man United in the second leg outplayed them as well. We're just not very good. So I wasn't surprised tonight. And I feel that yourselves... You're missing that killer up front. You're missing that replacement for Aguero. That there is no doubt. And it's interesting because whenever you say it, the criticism often thrown back is, well, we're much better than your team. And I'm not comparing City to Man United right now in the contemporary sense. That's stupid.
Irrelevant.
I'm talking about those fine margins and inches of winning titles, winning Champions Leagues. You're just slightly missing him. And with Raheem Sterling not that prolific best, it's just the goals are a little bit hard to come by. But you got a great chance, there's no doubt. And look, Sunday's game is going to be absolutely epic now, especially with you both winning tonight. So it's going to be absolutely mammoth, mate. It really, really is. So are you predicting a win Sunday and
Yeah,
a
win
win away?
Sunday. Win Sunday, and that will take us 4 points clear, shift the momentum, and we win the league. And Terry, you know what I'm like. This is not always me, but it's that point now, business end of the season. And yeah, I predict a win. You know what? I think we could win at Madrid, maybe 2 or 3-1.
Wow, there we go. Daps,
And
thank you.
then I will say, however,
Yeah, go
FA
on.
Cup, yeah, we'll throw that. Not bothered about that.
You throw that. Listen, Daps, you're a legend. Thanks for coming on the show, mate, and having your say tonight. I appreciate it, brother. All the best, my friend. Thank you. Very confident over there. We are going to win the treble this season. Crime more lost the pool fans. I mean, loser pool. I think he means loser pool, but lost the pool. But we get you there as an example. There's another comment here that says, "Hey guys, what's up? Man City and Liverpool. Referee Anthony Taylor. VAR. Paul Tierney. Do you think Liverpool fans should be worried?"
The refs?
In fairness, I don't know which referees are good or bad because I pay it no attention. Legit, I don't know.
I think it's irrelevant.
I don't think it matters.
I think you're talking to the two wrong people. We're both not very keen on
like blaming refs.
Yeah,
we take ownership. You know what I mean? I make my bed. I read that in Jordan Peterson's book. It says, make your bed in the morning, it makes you a better man.
This is like making your bed.
Yeah, it's all I've done. That all the 12 steps. I just make my bed. The rest of it I've ignored. To those Chelsea fans, never compare Reece James to Trent again. One is a good player. The other is literally revolutionizing the position. Do you feel like Trent Alexander-Arnold has revolutionized that role?
I mean, he has. Because he's added a whole new dimension of. We were already moving into, wing backs in that kind of sense, and he's been able to add this element in terms of how he can. Is his passing really and how he attacks?
Yeah.
I don't think any other fullback comes close. I think that's now what everyone has been trying to do in the last few years, but he's just something else in that sense. However, I'm still gonna opt for our player of the season on the Terrace, as voted by the fans, as Cancelo. So I'm still gonna have him.
You're backing Cancelo still?
Yeah. I'm going with what the fans said. I'm seeing Rams going.
Rams getting mad backstage. Ram is getting mad backstage. Ram is getting mad backstage. He really, really is. Listen, hit that like and that share button. Loads more calls to come on the show tonight. Ben's up next. We've still got Ram to come, Tom to come, Rat to come, Mo to come. Man, like Big Sick Bants, Mott's is backstage as well. I'm just seeing a few different faces backstage as I look through. So stay with the Terrace. No better place to be. Ben's on now. What you saying, mate?
This team, never the easy way, mate. To be fair, like first half, I thought, this is going to be super easy. 2-0 up. Second half, we'll come out and score 2 or 3 more goals. But then, obviously, the Konate mistake, I think, just completely changed the whole game. And, Benfica, huge credit to them. Most teams in the Champions League against Liverpool go 2-0 down. They'll kind of just capitulate. But these guys were up for it. I don't think they've got anything else to fight for. So you could see they put absolutely everything into it tonight. So I just thought, we've got to give them a lot of credit for pushing us. It was only until near the end where we got the goal to win the game by 2 goals. But one game at a time, man. We're in the semis, I believe. Like you said, I don't think that it's a blue snowball.
I knew that's what you were laughing.
Mate,
I saw you laughing. I thought, is it something I've said or what?
Made me laugh.
Yeah.
They're good microphones. Blue.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Blue. They're very good. They're very good mics.
Yeah, but I think we're in the semis, like you said. I'm fairly confident, and it was good to make the changes, rest a few players for Sunday. But yeah, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.
Yeah, and I hear you on that, mate. And I think you've got a great chance of going through, no doubt. And how confident are you ahead of Sunday?
Never confident when it comes to Man City. Never. I'm confident in my team, and I think that this is it. If we want to win the league, we've got to go and show it on Sunday. It's as simple as that. If we really want to make something special, I'm not talking quad. I've never really bought into all of that talk because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anybody truly believes it will happen. But if we want to win the league after being such a long way behind City, I think that we have to go out there and prove it on Sunday. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the winner of the game wins the league. I think they'll just go on to play the rest of the season with a spring in their step. But yeah, no, after tonight, after some of the performances, you've got to be confident. I mean, Hassam came on here and said Trent's the best right back in the world. Someone else said it. I'm not even, look, he won that conversation time ago, ages ago. I'm putting him up there as one of the best players in the world. Like, maybe, I don't know where I'd rank him, but he's got to be compared with the best players. Right backs, he's completed that a long time ago. I don't want to hear it anymore. I think when you're looking at Trent now, we have to start comparing him to other players as the best players in the world. And I certainly think he's up there. I mean, that ball today, the one to Diaz, then the other one where Salah should have scored, in my opinion. And then there was another one later on in the game. Look, if he's at his best on Sunday, then I think we've got a very good chance. Same with Naby Keita. If he plays, I don't know if he will. But I just wanted to talk on him quickly before I go. I'm seeing people like Hassam, and Hassam, I am going to call you out, bro. You're my brother. I love you. We do spaces every day. But people like you have been slandering this guy for so long, bro. People like you and so many other people in the spaces. Monts, I think, is coming on as well. And I've been trying to fight this guy, saying, look, it's literally his injuries that are making you say this. If you look at the player, he's a brilliant player. This season, whenever he's played, he's been brilliant. And now, tonight, they're all back here on Twitter saying how good Naby Keita is. I've been saying it for 2-3 years, man. Like, honestly. People have been calling me deluded. People have been calling me all sorts of things because I've been saying Naby Keita is one of our best midfielders. And tonight, like Hassam did say, to be fair, he outshone Thiago on the big stage. And, you know, those are the performances that if we're going to win the league, we need to see from our midfielders. So very confident that we're going to go far in the Champions League. I think Bayern Munich as well, if they get through Villarreal, you know, we'll give them a good game.
Yeah.
And the sky's the limit, man. Really is.
Mate, listen, I hear you. Interesting point about Trent in terms of being one of the best players in the world. I want to know what the viewers think about that. Ben, pleasure, mate, and I'm sure we'll speak on Sunday at some point as well, mate. All the best, brother. Take care of yourself. There's a super chat that came through during that, and we will speak about Trent in a bit. They says, nah, Trent revolutionized nothing. Marcelo and Alves have been doing that role for ages. Liverpool and Prem fans. I suppose I'd say this. I understand the case in point about attacking fullbacks is maybe not a new thing. And maybe I don't think Alves or Marcelo were technically as good at passing the ball, technically as good at football as Trent. I don't remember them being just as balanced, as skillful. I just don't like in terms of hitting the ball. I'm not talking skills like step overs and flicks and drag backs and I don't even know the names of skills because I'm a grown-up. Quiff turns and all that nonsense. Like, I don't know them. I literally don't know the names of tricks. Why would I? Why would I know the name of them? But the point is, none of these things, drag backs, Ronaldo chops. I know a few. What's that one that Ronaldinho used to do? The Elastico or something. I don't know. It's called. I literally don't know what it's called. But the point is, like, Trent might not better do those things, but he's just so proficient and consistent.
I think he's made his own kind of category in that position, to be fair. And I can attest that it's difficult to compare them from almost different eras, if you like, when it wasn't really a thing and they were revolutionizing the position in their day.
But the point I'm saying is was Marcelo's crossing ability and passing ability as pinpoint, as accurate as Trent? I don't think it was. No. And I did watch it. He was, by the way, these players were brilliant, though. These players were absolutely out of this world brilliant. There's no doubt. Trent is up there. Atletico Madrid are chanting mugs, kicking us for no reason. If you play Ati, you know they're going to kick you. That's the way football's done. Simple as that. Next on the show, we're joined by Tom Little. What are you saying, mate?
People confuse me, man. We're not saying Trent is the best right back of all time when we say he's revolutionised it. All we're saying is Trent Alexander-Arnold is the first right back or left back to be the primary playmaker in a team and make it work. He's getting Kevin De Bruyne type assist numbers. We're not saying he's this marauding fullback that bombs up and down like Marcelo or Cafu. He's different. That's where the revolutionise comes in. Do I agree with the term? I don't know. It does seem a little bit out of hand, but the game today was sound. It was sound. We should hopefully have this boxed off now. We should still go strong for the second leg. If we hadn't conceded, I'd have been more than happy to just rotate massively for that second leg with the semi-final in mind. But, you know, we got it done today. Canate, I thought, was brilliant up until the mistake, and then he looked a bit shaky after that. To be expected. Naby Keita was class, everyone said. Diaz was brilliant, causing him so many He's got such a good touch as well. The amount of pings that get played to him, he just such a good chest control.
He's almost like as good as Kulusevski. He's there.
Oh, mate, I'm not having this. Kulusevski's the second choice. You sit Daniel Levy down with Diaz or Kulusevski. Even now, we take Diaz.
But they always say in life, that your second marriage is better than the first. I only winded you up. How confident are you now, Tom, going into Sunday's game, brother?
I'm dreading Sunday now. I hadn't given it much thought because, we had the Champions League coming. That was taking my mind off it. Now it's just that. Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. I hate these games. And the fact that it's not in our hands if we draw or lose. We have to go there and win if we want it to be in our hands. That's the part that makes me nervous. But I'll be there. Whether I'll enjoy it, I don't know. We need a good start.
You're coming. You'll be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a good day. It'll be a good day, my friend. It really, really will. Tom, pleasure to speak, my friend, and we'll chat again soon, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Top man. There is a comment here, and I want to speak about this a little bit later, but I want to put the comment up so everyone knows we're going to speak about multiple subjects tonight. But free Felix. To Arsenal, they're putting in there from DJ. He's actually a Chelsea fan, but I am going to speak on João Felix later because that man does need to be freed and set alive again. He really does. He needs to be. We're going to get onto that a little bit later. That's what you want to speak about. Just say that you did not watch them. There's no problem. I definitely saw Marcelo play and Dani Alves play. I wouldn't say hundreds of games. That's probably exaggeration, but a number of games, and they were outstanding. Some of the best players, fullbacks of their generation, some of the best players in their team. My point is, I don't think they were as good at crossing balls, passing balls as Trent. And Marcelo had the chance to cross the ball into the box to the most deadliest striker in the history of football, one of the best headers of the ball in the history of football in Cristiano Ronaldo. How often, if his crossing was as good as even as KDB's, but as Trent's, surely I don't even know what his numbers were, but I'm sure he wasn't assisting and creating chances at the same level as Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm sure he wasn't. If he was, I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong. But I just think Trent I think he's just an echelon better, and that's my take. And that's it. And the fact that he's doing it so young as well is crazy with Trent Alexander-Arnold. It really is. Next on the show, another City fan. I'm on those loads of people waiting, but Yan is here with us. I think if I see her come off mute, she has come off mute. How you doing, Yan?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My signal's a bit rubbish, so if it cuts off, sorry.
No worries. But a big result for you tonight.
Yeah.
Big result for you tonight ahead of the big game at the weekend. How you feeling?
Yeah. I kind of wanted like a 2-0 or something because it would feel a bit more comfortable, but we needed to win, and that's what we did. So hopefully it's enough. We can go into the second leg now, and as long as we don't get beat, we should be through. So hopefully we can knock them out.
Well, yeah, that's what you need. And then you set up, potential, big semi-final on the horizon, still chasing this treble down as an example. In terms of your players tonight, there was talking, the first half it being a little bit lethargic, a little bit slow, maybe not so much a lack of ideas as such, but that without that kind of Aguero figure, that goal scorer in your team, is that a concern that you have going into the run-in now that you might just not score enough goals?
Yeah, City are a bit of a weird team. Like some nights, we look like we can score every time, with the ball. And then other times it looks like we're never going to score. And I think we kind of try and walk it in a bit too much. There's games where it's like, right, okay, De Bruyne, shoot from outside the box now. And usually when he does, it goes in. So I think sometimes it's kind of one-dimensional. We don't have like a plan B as such. So I think we definitely need a striker. There's no doubt about it. I know people say when we win 4-5-0, oh, well, you don't need a striker. We do, because some nights when it's not working, you just need that clinical edge. And obviously, naturally, when you're a striker, your first instinct is to shoot. Whereas because we have false nines, their first instinct is to pass. So you end up in a situation where it makes it easier for the goalkeeper, I think. So, yeah, we definitely need a Haaland, or you were talking about João Felix. I think João Felix is perfect for Pep, personally. someone like that would be brilliant. So we'll just have to see who we end up with.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And how are you feeling ahead of Sunday now? I mean,
Oh gosh.
because it's almost tonight's game is kind of like done almost, and the first thought is right, roll on the weekend. Are you confident? Are you nervous? Like, how are you feeling about it right now?
I'd say I'm nervous. Our record against Liverpool at home is actually really good. I think a lot of people bring up that Champions League game and kind of bring that one up. But at home in the league, it's actually quite good against Liverpool. So we don't need to panic. We just need to go there. Well, we're at home, you know. But I think soak up the pressure and try and... it'd be good if we can get an early goal. I think that will help us. It'll take the pressure off. But as it stands now, we're the ones that don't have to win. They have to beat us. So as long as we keep our heads, I think we've got a good chance. If we don't win, I think the title is very tricky, you know, because it's with our running and the amount of games we've got, it's not going to be easy. So I think we definitely have to win, really. But you know,
it makes it
for a while now.
Sorry.
If Liverpool win 18 games in a row, whatever it is, they deserve to win the league. I just have to hold my hands up and say, you know, you win 18 games in a row, you deserve the league all day long. So we'll just see what happens.
Jan, always a pleasure to speak to you, and we'll chat on Sunday at some point, no doubt. Take care of yourself. We'll speak soon.
You too. Bye.
Take care. Bye. I think she makes a lot of great points there as well. And this game Sunday, both winning midweek, there's almost no excuses. Both squads are pretty much as fit as they could be. It's going to be an amazing Sunday.
I mean, apart from Hussam, I think everyone else has kind of been a bit cautious around it. Really, no one wants to say anything too damaging. I agree though. I think whoever wins the game, I think is going to go on to win the league.
I hear you.
I genuinely think it's going to be a title decider there.
I hear you. Still Ram to come, Mo to come, Rack to come, and more. But Big Six Bants, man like Mots is on the show now with us to have his say. Welcome back to the Terrace, mate.
How we doing? How we doing, people?
All good, all good. Give me your thoughts on tonight.
I'm gonna be real. It wasn't a walk in the park like we thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. There were moments in that game where they did gain momentum. I feel like at 2-0, you're kind of thinking, well, how many is it gonna be? You know what I mean? You're thinking how many, but I'm not gonna be too hard on Konate simply because he played really well, but he made one mistake. And I think he was a little bit shaky after that. But overall, for a young centre-back to come in on the Champions League stage, I'm happy with his performance. And to be fair, I'm shocked at the Naby Keita performance. You know what I mean? I haven't really been too supportive of him, but I feel like he really balled out today. He showed Thiago. He showed up Thiago, in my opinion, as Hassam said. So, yeah, man, I'm happy with the result. 2-goal cushion going back to Anfield. I think it's safe to say we're through to the next round. And, you know, now we've got both eyes on Pep. As I said, Pep better check his shoulders. Jan, Daps, all you lot. Hope you are ready. That's simple, really.
I hear you on that. And I'm not going to ask you about Sunday because obviously you're filming the 12th man with us tomorrow. So I kind of want to save you for that because the viewers are going to enjoy that you versus Boovie. But I wanted to ask you about Trent Alexander-Arnold, claimed by Ben earlier that forget best right back debates, one of the best players in the world. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really understand the Cancelo Player of the Year thing. I'm on you for that one, you know. I thought that was just a fans thing. Are you like? Because let's be honest, did you see Trent today? Did you see what Trent was doing? And just to reiterate, revolutionizing doesn't mean again that he's the best that has ever been to play the game. He's making this position his own. He's redefined this position to be the main playmaker of a side that is dominating football at not as much as City in the league, but just with Liverpool at an all-time high where we haven't been in this spot for many years. And Trent is shining at a young age. And I'm not even going to dash the age card in there. This guy is a grown man in this thing, and the passing range, the maturity. You just see that Liverpool are a different side. We're a different monster. We're a different animal with Trent. And to me, even defensively today, he was really good. And I don't even want to say even defensively because defensively he's been great this season. So I still don't understand the Cancelo prop. I don't understand it. I don't know where it comes from. Personally, he can be the left back of the year if you man want to do that because he's not the right back. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? Trent, what more do you want to see? What more does he have to do? 17 assists in all comps. What more? What more do you want?
Yeah, look, I think it's one of those things with Trent where I think he's going to get the Harry Kane treatment, the even to a degree, the Ronaldo treatment. And I use them as prem examples. The goalpost will always be pushed and moved on, no matter what you ask, no matter what the detractors of Trent say. Needs to improve. When it improves, they'll find rationale and reason in their own mind to play it down. And we've seen that with, listen, you know, Harry Kane's a great example. He's a 1-season wonder, a 2-season wonder. Can he do it in the big games? Can he do it? Can he do it? And there's still a few things missing. It's that he's got it's right down. It's getting so specific now. He's got to score the winning goal at a pivotal moment in the game, in a major final when his team are under pressure. Like, people will make it so specific that it's almost impossible to kind of get to. Maybe he'll never score that one particular goal. Trent's just out of this world brilliant. And look, there are still question marks over elements of his game. I think people forget he's still young. Like,
he's
people still call Jesse Lingard young at 29. Like, Trent is like 22, 23.
This is what I'm saying though with Trent. Like, I feel like even if you look at Dani Alves's game, if you really go back to some of his performances, he wasn't the greatest defensive prospect when he was, you know, in his earlier years, especially when he'd come through at Barcelona. It was when he got to the latter end of his 20s, or maybe 26 and above, that's when he started really mastering his craft defensively whilst keeping his attacking prowess. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of time for Trent. And the fact that he's still improving year on year is crazy. Because I think we're living in an era where it's very difficult to maintain consistency. You see players like Rashford, who, in my opinion, should have been the next big thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many young players that coulda, shoulda, woulda been the next big thing. And Trent is out here still balling, still badding up defenders, and still doing what he's doing. So consistency for me can't be overlooked. And as you said, like, it's getting to the point where he's so good, you're now nitpicking the tiniest little thing that you can find. So if you're trying to pick a hole in someone's game and you're struggling to do it, what does that tell you?
100%, mate. See you tomorrow, mate. Cheers for coming on and having your say tonight, bro. Really appreciate it, mate. Catch you in a bit, my guy. Thank you. Rams on next. We've got Rack to come, Mo to come. Got Liverpool's 12th man on there as well, amongst loads of others. But Rams on the show with me now. What you saying, brother?
Yeah, man. What's good, man? To be honest, I think this game should have been done and dusted after the first half. In my opinion, I think it should have been 4 or 5-0. We had so many good opportunities. I know Salah had a couple of one-on-ones. I don't want to be that guy, but I have to talk about his performances this year.
I was waiting for someone to mention.
I don't want to be that guy, but
so go for it.
I can't overlook them performances. Like, especially today, no genius will have to tell you that you need to open your body up and finesse it into the bottom left-hand corner. No one has to. Any striker.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is with Salah at the minute?
I think it's a multiple issue thing. I think a contract has to be a reason why. I think there's a really outstanding stat. He's played the most minutes out of any other player in the top 5 leagues, about 4,200 minutes this season, considering the fact that he played back-to-back 120 minutes 4 times in a row, and he played another 120 minutes in that playoff as well. So it could be a case of physical plus mental fatigue. And
you still starting against City though? With what you've just said?
You can't not start him.
So does that not play into your reason as to why he's not performing?
No, but he still has quality. Like, every world-class player, whenever he
still starts for me. But in your argument of him, you know, potentially being overplayed and been playing too much, where do you draw the line with him? Because every game's a big game for Liverpool. You can't, you know, if he's one of those players, he has to play every game.
Benfica second leg, I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him against them. But if you take off Salah against City, who are you going to put on? Jota's not that great on the right. Mane's been okay he's been very good on the right in 2016-17, but that was about 5 years ago. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But on other things, I think Konate, that game was like a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Like you saw the absolute best of him. Like in the first half an hour, I said he was a cheat code. Like the guy, no one could get past him. He's like, he has the physicality and the mindset to not get beaten. But then the naivety came out where he just kept on going for challenges, or they're trying to get the ball as soon as possible. I'm like, sometimes you don't need to do it, man. You don't need to do it. And look, lastly, yeah, Alisson's dummy, he meant it, yeah. He meant it.
It was a bit shaky there. I don't know. It was a bit shaky there.
No, he properly meant it, man. He properly meant it.
Nah.
That's a little bit of Brazilian flair, you know what I mean?
It's an interesting one. We had a super chat as well here that said, could Salah's bad form cost Liverpool on Sunday? Yes.
I could say it could be a case of 2019 again, because remember he was on like a really bad patch,
and then he scored against Watford.
No, Southampton.
Was it Southampton?
Like
a
clutch goal against Southampton.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
so it could be that.
this is the thing. He could cost you, but this is also where Mo Salah needs his teammates to ensure they're stepping up. This is where Mane scored tonight, Diaz scored tonight. This is where they've got to do it, because Salah's hit a period of bad form. There's two players that are responsible for everybody overthinking this bad form, and they're called Messi and Ronaldo. Them two went through a 8, 9, 10-year period where they might have one game where they didn't score or assist, and then they were back to doing it again. Their outputs were so consistent, but they broke the mold. Going 4, 5, 6 games and only scoring a goal and having some abject performances, most world-class players would go through this at some point in a season. You'd hit a dry patch. The year that Man United last won the Premier League and Robin van Persie was Golden Boot winner, one of the players of the season, he had like a 2-month period where he didn't score, and then he got a penalty. I want to say it was either Southampton or Sunderland, one of the two, and he ran the length and breadth of the pitch and hugged Fergie because he'd gone for, and no one remembers that bad patch because he started it brilliantly, had the bad patch and ended it well. And Mo Salah has to play because at some point, and it could be this weekend, he could click into gear. And once he's back firing, he'll then be that difference to push you over the line. He'll get his confidence back, there's no doubt. Ram, you're going to be in the studio Sunday, so I'm going to ask you about it then when you're in here, mate. And I'll chat to you soon, brother. All the best, my man. Catch up soon. Cheers, Ram. Thank you very much, my guy. Ake was the man of the match tonight, in my opinion. Is what City. He did all right, Ake. I thought he did all right.
Yeah, I guess as well, a lot of people, even we were saying that, you know, if there was going to be a weak spot, it could be him. So considering that.
And he stepped up.
Yeah.
He stepped up, no doubt about it. Mane has played a lot of games. We don't make excuses for him. But Mane hasn't had as good a season as Salah. Yeah. It's one of those things. And Salah's hit a bit of the irony. Salah's form is bad, but we only notice it so much because how good the rest of it is.
The bar's a different level.
Yeah, exactly. Weird comment here from Ali, but I will address it because I'm like that. He says, Terry, you don't spend time with your kids. You are always on YouTube or socials. I don't run my socials, so it isn't me that does those posts, firstly. Secondly, I do work a lot because I've got a lot of things to pay for in my life, kids mainly. But don't talk about me not spending time with my kids because you don't know me, son. And if you were standing in front of me right now, you wouldn't have the guts to open your mouth like that. Trust me, bruv. So hush your mouth when it comes to my kids. Seriously, that's the only time you'll see me snap. Get them out your mouth. End of story. It's gone quiet in here now, so we'll move on from there. We are going to destroy it. Oh, I've already had that one. I thought I'd already put it out there. B here says, I want to know a reason why City fans think Liverpool won't win at the Etihad this Sunday. City haven't won at Anfield since 2003 and won their last season. Explain. It's a good point, isn't it? That's a very good point.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I personally don't think that. I think it's tight. I wouldn't favor City or Liverpool. I wouldn't put a big bet on it. Put it that way. I think only a couple of people have come out here quite brazen with their predictions for Sunday.
Yeah,
not me. I wouldn't do that because that is I wouldn't even know how to call it.
No, I hear you. Tony says Terry just put. Oh, I just missed it there. So Terry just pulled off a Masvidal. Yeah, the difference is between me and Masvidal. I would win the fight if somebody was talking about my kids. I wouldn't lose and sit on the floor the whole time and then put a sucker punch in a restaurant later on. Do you know what I mean? By the way, I don't even like Kobe Covington. I'm just saying, Masvidal, you let us down, bro. You let us down. I wouldn't say that. By the way, I wouldn't say that to Masvidal's face. I'd be like, hello, Mate, give me a cuddle. Yeah, I wouldn't. With City not necessarily needing to win on Sunday, I sense Pep may overthink it and make a critical mistake. He could. Listen, you wouldn't put it beyond him, but I'm going for a two. I've been saying 2-1 Liverpool the whole time, so let's see what happens. Mo's on the show now. A bit of a neutral perspective tonight. Rack still to come, and a few more callers as well. What are you saying, Mo?
I want to say that the difference between City and Liverpool nowadays is that Liverpool have many, many weapons to score. We saw it today. City had 9 corners before they scored, and they did not score. Liverpool, Benfica sat back, and Liverpool from I think the second corner, Konate put it in. That's the difference. Even Benfica tried to go onto Liverpool and tried to attack them, and then Trent with that magic pass to Luis Diaz and an assist to Mane. I think with Mo Salah not finding his feet, they have many, many weapons nowadays to play, many, many weapons to score from. They are playing free-flowing football more than City. I know that Atletico sat back, but back in the day, about 4 months ago, we have seen City break these low blocks all the times and scoring easy. Somehow, they have found a way, teams, to stop City from scoring, especially teams with defensive weapons. Like Simeone had a lot of defenders, 5 and 5 ahead of them, but we have seen City breaking these teams, and they broke them when Foden came in a moment of magic that proved that Foden is one of the best attackers in the league when he's on his day. And he brought him in, and that pass was just magic. I don't see City with the free flowing like before. I don't see City playing the same way they used to play like before. The far post crosses are not working. As you said today, Kevin De Bruyne hit about 2-3 crosses. They're way out, and way far from what they're supposed to be.
They look like they've got arthritis. The style of football is arthritis. It's stiff, bruv.
I don't know what happened to these players. Some of them are like Raheem Sterling today was not involved at all. Every time he got the ball, he lost it weirdly. I know he tried to fall down a couple of times, get penalties. The Premier League referees, they call it for them. In Europe, they don't. But Liverpool today proved that I think Jurgen Klopp is not out of ideas yet. I think Pep is just, they put their foot on the gas. They try to press. But if it doesn't work, it might not work in the second leg, because if, as happened to United, and you said it, you controlled the game from minute 1 to the last minute. If Atletico scores, it might go to penalties. Who knows? It might go to penalties, and at that point, it's a 50-50 thing. But Liverpool, they always look like they have that moment of magic in them in every minute. It could have been 5 today. It could have been 6 if Salah had his boots on. But that's the difference between City and Liverpool in this last couple of months. This is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, listen, I totally get where you're coming from. And City, that's my reason for picking Liverpool over City to win the league, is City just haven't looked at their potent best in that time period. And again, compared to nearly everybody else in the league, they're still brilliant. But we're not comparing them to everybody else in the league. We're comparing them to Liverpool. We're comparing them to Chelsea and Bayern Munich and Real Madrid in the Champions League. And those little things really matter. They're not playing Norwich. They're not playing Manchester United. They're not playing these types of teams. They're going up against the very best of the best. And these little moments are going to really matter in this running. There's no doubt about it.
One more thing. Not everybody in the Premier League have the capacity to stop City. But as of now, Liverpool with 2 points behind, they only have to play Liverpool and win. And Liverpool, I think they have the defensive capacity to stop City, and they have the offensive abilities to score. So why not Liverpool will go to the Etihad and win? City might win. Maybe they don't need to win. But at the moment, it's only Liverpool. And as you said, it's only Liverpool. And they have to win against Chelsea, who proven before that they can stop City. We're not talking about Burnley and Norwich, as you said. Nobody in the Premier League has the capacity to stop City, but nobody needs to. If Liverpool can stop them, they'll win the league. And if Chelsea can stop them, they'll go to the final.
I hear you, Mo. Great call, my friend. Good analysis and breakdown. Really appreciate it, brother. And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. I was going to read out another troll's comment, but I can't be bothered to destroy somebody else tonight. It was more of a funny one, to be fair. Talking about twerking, and I was thinking about someone in his family I know, but I'll talk about it another time. Liverpool can't win. Liverpool can't win Sunday by defending with a high line against KDB. English people Okay, so I'm going to laugh straight away as soon as people bring up unmutable. English people must cut out that BS. Roberto Carlos was the best fullback, period. But do you know what, bro? It's not just English people, because Dom Hustam rates Trent as Dom Hustam is not English. Just to put that out there, he is not English. So it's not just English people that say it. So don't label us all with that brush. I know lots of international Liverpool fans that believe Trent is revolutionized the role. So there we go. But listen, Michael Ramsey, thank you very, very much for your super chat. I really do appreciate that. Next on the show, Rack is here. What you saying, brother?
Great performance. First of all, tell that troll who was saying that stuff about your kids is a prick. Fuck him. Yeah, don't want to.
In fairness, I wish I could see him less, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. That's the one side of your job that I don't think anybody envies, like the abuse and stuff. So yeah, anyway, big up yourself, mate. Look, about the football, second half performance wasn't the best, but obviously, you know, we still got the third goal. But the first half performance was just brilliant. Like Klopp gets labelled, you know, the whole rock and roll football thing, man. But the first half was just it was like Motorhead meets Mozart. It's like it was intense and physical and draining in that sense. But it was also beautiful and intricate. Some of the passing was great. Trent's pre-assist for Mane's goal and the ball he played to Diaz. That stuff is just incredible. And the first half performance, especially today, was fantastic. And it's put us in a good position going into the second leg. One thing I think Klopp hasn't got enough praise for this season is the amount he rotates. And it's something he's been reluctant to do before, but he rotates a lot now. And I think that's helped to keep most players, apart from, obviously Salah has played a lot of games recently, but apart from that, everyone else is in peak physical condition right now. Salah looks a little bit tired, but we can't drop him for the weekend. Salah is the guy. He's been our best player this season. He will play at the weekend, and we go into this potentially title decider. It's not all necessarily on this game, but it will have a huge say in what happens. We go into that game with our eyes on the prize, and I'm confident. I think we can do it. People will talk about games at the Etihad and games at Anfield and all that kind of stuff. We look very strong at the moment. City are a great team. They look strong as well, but I'm always going to back our boys, and I think we can do it.
There we go. Listen, you got a great chance this weekend, mate. I appreciate you calling in and your words earlier, and I'll track to you soon, my man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Let's do some more of these calls, and we're going to give our predictions for the weekend. Just chat on for João Felix as well. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Liverpool's 12th Red is here with us now. What you saying, bro?
Hey, thank you for having me on. First time on the show. Appreciate it.
No problem, my friend. Welcome. You're welcome.
I wanted to say basically that I really thought that our first half and second half was night and day difference. However, it was just because Konate had a slip of the mind, I guess you could say, and allow for that goal to be tapped in by Benfica. And other than that, we played really well. I mean, if you look at the numbers and look at all the possession and look at how many shots on net on goal we had, there's a big difference in our performance. And I believe that that's really something that you have to keep an eye on when evaluating the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think the second half was a little different. Konate makes a mistake, as a lot of people have pointed out, and it just took a little bit of time for you to recover, but you didn't concede any more. You got the third goal, and look, football Champions League away legs feel a little different now with no away goals. But if we go back to old money, if you score 3 goals away in any Champions League game in a knockout phase, it's phenomenal.
It's a great game. It's a great game, exactly. And I had Ram, great point, because you got to realize that Salah's played 1,898 minutes in this year, 2022 at least, for Liverpool and Egypt alone. That's a lot of minutes. The way that we've been, and he's not going to take himself out of the game. He doesn't want to kind of take himself out of the game, and you can see that because he's just a winner. He wants to always be in the fight, And sometimes you have to do the best thing for him and say, hey, you have to have a seat. Let's just get some new energy in. Let's just get your mind straight. And I think that's what's going to happen when we face Man City coming up. So I'm hoping that it gets him.
Yeah. Now, listen, you've got a great chance this weekend. You really, really do. Look, I appreciate you coming on, and making your debut on the show, my friend. We'll definitely get you on again soon. Top man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Like, Cole, like in terms of this weekend, where's your head at? What you saying is going to happen?
I think Liverpool are going in the better vein of form in terms of performance-wise. I think judging how tonight went for both teams, it helps Liverpool because it's almost, not to be too arrogant for them, but they should really be going through in the second leg. So it gives them a little bit more options and things to play around with on Sunday. City don't necessarily have that luxury. And at the same time as well, like a few of the City fans have already alluded to, is that they without an out-and-out striker, they can only replay one way, and it could get a little bit difficult for them if they, with the eye into Atletico during the week. So I personally am thinking 2-1 City just because I want City to win the league. But if I'm going with my gut, I think all indicators are pointing to like a 2-1 or even a 3-1 Liverpool. And I'm not even saying that lightly because City are at home and they do have Pep and they are a great team and squad, but we can't take the context out of tonight and the wider context of how Liverpool have managed to catch up to City when we all thought this was City's title by Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, and Liverpool just have so many options. They literally have so many options up front, and that's where City are lacking, as everyone has already said. So I would like City to win, but I think Liverpool will.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same frame of mind as you. I want Liverpool to lose. If I have to pick between the two of them winning the league, I would pick City because I don't want Liverpool matching Man United's 20, which is, I think, but where people get confused with me saying that is, but I think Liverpool are going to do it. And like what I think is going to happen is very different from that, me wanting that to be the case. But Liverpool just look potent right now. If City will create chances, that's the thing. I'm just gonna go still with what I think. I want a nice little 1-0, 2-1, whatever to City. But what I think is gonna happen is gonna be 2-1 Liverpool. I think they beat them and then they go on to win the Premier League. I've then just got to hope that someone knocks Liverpool out of the Champions League because I just need this quad thing to go away. I just need this quad thing to go away so desperately. But that's how bad my season's become as a Man United fan, that my only joy is these two brilliant world best teams going backwards. That's it.
I think tonight's Liverpool performance is what's kind of swayed me, because we alluded to it in the on the watch along, is that Liverpool, you can still get chances against them. Benfica did tonight, but I'm talking about in the Premier League with your West Ham, Watford. There was chances there for them. So I think City can utilize that aspect. I think they've obviously got much better quality and finesse to them to be able to not allow Liverpool to block off those passing lanes for them. But I just don't think it's going to be easy. And my gut's telling me Liverpool will win. I would prefer City to win. And I'm seeing loads of people saying that we're being so biased. I'm literally an Arsenal fan. This does nothing for me. They literally do nothing for me.
I think as well, I've seen a lot of the comments saying there's like an anti-City agenda. Listen to the words we have both said. We both want City to win. So we are rooting for you, but we just don't think you're going to do it. There is such a difference between wanting something and believing it's going to happen. What I won't ever do is make a prediction based on what I want to happen, because that's unintelligent. I'm predicting based on what I legitimately think is going to happen, looking at the form of both teams. Now, of course, City can beat them. City are more than capable of beating Liverpool. There's no doubt about it. But I felt this isn't after one. I'm not doing what Gooners did last night, and after one result, they're joining Lee Gunner's gang again, or they're doubling down and acting like there was no issue at all. I'm being very fair and very open, just stating that this is based on a 2-month period of form where I've seen Liverpool get better and better and better, more and more and more clinical, and City just become a little bit stiff and a little bit inconsistent. And I'm talking at the elite end of the spectrum, where every little inch matters.
That's
And
exactly what we
that's
were
it.
saying. That's exactly what we were saying on the watch along. It's almost like a different level when you talk about Liverpool and City in comparison to any other team. You know, where we're being critical and saying, oh, City might not have as many options up front in terms of striker wise. You know, we're talking on the level where City are looking at doing a treble. We're not talking about them just winning the league. We're talking about these tiny margins that could make the difference. Where Liverpool are looking at doing a quad and they're looking at doing a treble. They're not just looking at one title here. So it's just those tiny inches that are making us pick between them. But we both recognize they're very, very good. The two best teams in Europe.
Without a shadow. Jerome's comment here says, I'm surprised how overconfident some Liverpool fans are. As a fan since 1995, I know better than to be cocky. Seriously wonder if they are real fans. I would say this. There's being confident and then there's being cocky. I think some Liverpool fans, definitely you could label that out, are just sort of acting like, oh, this is a shoe-in. We're definitely going to do it. Nothing's going to get in our way. It's not going to be easy for Liverpool, not just on Sunday. It's not going to be easy to win the league from this point, but they've got such a great chance. And winning tonight's done a massive favor for them in terms of that rotation as well. You really want that, though, Terry, don't you? No daps. Honestly, get out your feelings, bruv. Calm down. Listen, drink another Magnum.
Maggie.
Do you know what I mean? Drink another Maggie. You know what I'm saying? Chill out, bro. Because, no, I don't want it. If I'm being honest, I want you both not to win the league. But that's impossible from this point, So I can only go with my head when it comes to football, not my heart when I'm making predictions. And it is what it is. I think a question I did have for you as well is about João Felix very briefly. He's got to leave Ati this summer, hasn't he?
1000%. He's just not even he's not even the type of player for Simeone. Even when they got him, I was a bit puzzled because he was such a great, and he still is a great talent, but he just doesn't suit their system or style. And that's not to say he has underperformed per se with them, because we've still seen him have great moments for Atleti. That's what they are. They're great moments. Under literally any other team, he's probably going to be their star player. Even at Arsenal, City, probably not United, probably ruin him and damage his confidence or something. But
don't just stop talking about us. Just stop talking about us.
But yeah, he's got to go. But who can afford him? And want to afford him for that particular.
Well, that's the problem. Football players have become so expensive now. It's almost, if you buy João Felix, that's pretty much it for you that summer. Again, unless you're selling someone. So the only way teams can do it is by selling. I know Arsenal were looking at him, but you are looking at anything between 90 to 110 million pounds in that range, and it's a huge amount of money. And I don't know if it's right for Arsenal either. You need some more elder statesmen. You need some older players in and around it as well. Free Citizen here says, you never praise Man City. I said about 5 times tonight on this show and the watch along that City are in the top 2 best teams in the world. That's praise. I've said that you'll win tonight. I think that obviously will it be Chelsea City in the semis?
Yeah.
That becomes anybody's game. But I'll put you in the top 2 favourites to win the Champions League. On multiple occasions in the last 4 years in the Premier League, I've referred to as the best team in the Prem, the best team in the Premier in the world. I've also said that once you win that Champions League, this team is an absolute shoo-in to go into conversations with the greatest ever Premier League side, one of the greatest ever English football sides of all time. That is serious. In fact, you can't be praised more than that. There is no greater praise than calling you the best in the world, one of the greatest teams to ever play football in this country. I don't know how much more praise I can give you than that. The only issue is that when I don't think you're going to win something, I'm not going to lie. Why would I do that? I can't. Why? I can't lie for you, brother. I can't lie for you, my friend, but there we go. I know there's still more people waiting backstage. Young Tommy, Aaron, a few of the others. We will get you on tomorrow's show, no doubt. We'll get that link out to you. It's just getting very late here and everything else. Everyone that's tuned in, thank you. Colleen, a pleasure as always.
Thank you. It's been great. It's been 2 decent games today.
Yeah, it has. And I'm sorry, I just got a message there from Lord Walker that called in. I've seen this guy comment and super chat for years. I didn't realize it was the same person. I didn't compute because his username wasn't that. But thank you very much for coming on and having your say. That was very good tonight. And obviously we're back tomorrow with Lies for Real Madrid versus Chelsea, which will be a really interesting night. Viewers, make sure you're all smashing the like button before you leave. Subscribe to the Terrace. We've got a big day tomorrow. Lots of filming, lots of recording, hot takes, the 12th man being recorded, watch along for the Real Madrid-Chelsea game, exclusive on our Twitch channel. So get following our Twitch channel now, and then match reaction straight after. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless.